Coach, I know some of your former players, when you were at your former stop, have really complimented you at the next level and talked about what you meant to them trying to get to that point. Do you ever have any of those guys come back and talk to some of your Arkansas players about trying to reach that next level and take the program forward?
You know, I made first I appreciate that and what you said, but I made a pretty conscientious decision. I knew that the outside world was going to do enough comparisons from my transition from Wisconsin to Arkansas that I didn't want to throw it in my players' faces. You know, this. I wanted to build Arkansas, and over the course of time, they would ask a lot of questions. You know, you have two of the premier players in the league, Russell Wilson and J.J. Watt. They figured out who they played for, and that brought a lot of certain questions around. So I didn't really force it. First off, it's illegal to have them recruit for you. I know some people do that, but we don't. So I couldn't really arrange anything like that, but it was kind of just a heartfelt thing happened this week. Kiro Small, for those that know Kiro from a year ago, is my fullback and kind of a heartbeat guy. He was a kid that was recruited maybe as a linebacker, fullback, broke his leg going into what he thought was going to be his senior year. Ended up coming back and having a year with me when we truly used a fullback, and I think really made a difference in the kid's life. I mean, he was probably a kid that wouldn't have been where he is today if the whole staff, you know, just a different style. So he's a fullback that gets drafted and goes to the Seattle Seahawks. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. They were I know John Snyder, the GM there, and as soon as it happened, Russell shot me a text, and then I texted Kiro, and then I shot each other their contact information and let them begin the conversation. And then Kiro came in my office on Monday, in there early Monday morning. He came walking in, and he had been in his OTAs, you know, with the Seahawks. And I said, "My man, Russell taking care of you." And he's like, "Coach," he goes, the detail, and he talked about how Russell would, you know, throw a pass, but then he would continue and simulate like he was throwing the pass 3 more times. And you had to be expecting it, and you had to simulate the catch and act like you had caught it, because he wanted to take through the progression on every play. Not just every other, not just every play of practice. And it's why he had success. But now Kiro I think has come back and told that story I don't know how many times to our current roster. And that has an effect. You know, I'll probably use references more and more as we go through it, but I want to start having some Arkansas players to reference that, and we have some good ones. There's some guys that are getting their chance now in the NFL, and hopefully they're more prepared because we had a chance to coach them. Yes?
How you doing, Coach? Earlier today, Coach Pinkel had said that he thinks the idea that fast football, fiction. How do you feel about that, and about the just 10-second rule in general?
Well, you know, I'm sure that that quote is being used in a certain light. You know, I'm not a guy that's against fast play. I obviously don't use it. I think the thing that gets lost. I just was in another interview, and they're like, "Coach, you're a proponent, or you know, you've been very outspoken on pace of play." Well, in reality, I haven't. What I've been outspoken on is player safety. That's what I believe in. However it comes about, I don't care. I want the ability to be able to substitute every side of every phase of the game equally. That's it. I think the reason that the offensive coaches react in such a strong way when they talk about the 10-second rule is there's an obvious advantage that's being capitalized on. If you don't see that, you're oblivious to reality. As far as Coach Pinkel, if he loves fiction, I love reality. I love Star Wars and all the other fiction movies I've ever seen, but I'm kind of a John Wayne fan, you know. So I mean, I like reality-based movies, and the same comes in real life.